The U.S. financial system is in more flux now than at any time since the Great Depression. Wall Street is facing sweeping new regulations, at least some. One-time prestigious firms like Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns have gone out of business. There are lawsuits, criminal investigations, and congressional hearings. But periods of crisis can often be laboratories for innovation, a time to focus on what went wrong and to come up with new ways of doing business. These are the moments when insightful entrepreneurs see opportunity in the midst of chaos. At the southern tip of Manhattan is the New York Financial District. For an area less than a mile across, there's more power, more influence, and more money per square foot here than anywhere in the world. It is the heartbeat of capitalism, the land of the big banks. At the center of it all is the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street. But one firm nearby casts a giant shadow over this part of the city. This is Goldman Sachs, the investment firm that has, rightly or wrongly, gone from one of the world's most respected financial institutions to the symbol of greed and excess and secret big money deals. But in this land of Goldmans and Goliaths, there is a young David that's trying to change the way business is done here by shining a little light on the process, opening up transactions for everyone to see.
We believe we are creating the next NASDAQ, the next eBay. We've even been called the Google of Wall Street. So we're on a mission to revolutionize the financial markets.
Meet Barry Silbert. He's 34 years old, but could pass for 24. He came to New York, like so many of today's best and brightest, seeking the fortunes of investment banking. We sat down for a conversation with this entrepreneur who believes he has a better idea.
I started my career at a smaller boutique investment bank. I ended up working in the restructuring group or the bankruptcy group. And this was during the last big bankruptcy boom. So this was from 1999 through 2003 when it really heated up. So I was working on bankruptcies like Enron and WorldCom.
Two disastrous enterprises.
They were disastrous, and from just whether it was fraud or just bad business judgment, I got to see it all.
What he saw was a mess. Somewhere along the line, Enron had bought shares in such things as a Bolivian pipeline and a Brazilian power plant. Silbert needed to sell them to get paid, but he had a hard time finding someone to purchase what he was trying to sell.
At the time, I said, okay, well, I can figure out maybe who some of the buyers are, but why is there no eBay for this? Why is there no centralized marketplace? Because it's a very kind of manual process, and if you don't have a large Rolodex of buyers, you don't know who to sell it to.
In Wall Street speak, that Bolivian pipeline and Brazilian power plant are known as illiquid assets, meaning owners can't sell them for cash at a moment's notice. Stocks and bonds, on the other hand, are known as liquid assets. There are markets for those that bring buyers and sellers together. That's the business model behind eBay, an online marketplace that made illiquid assets like baseball cards and record collections much more liquid by bringing buyers and sellers together. Silbert thought, what if there was an eBay of sorts for the tens of trillions of dollars of illiquid financial assets? And suddenly, an idea was born.
My wife thought I was crazy for leaving investment banking.
In 2004, he left his job and started what he calls a garage version of a Wall Street firm. Silbert's dream of creating a new centralized marketplace for illiquid assets has grown into this, a company called SecondMarket.
I think if we're as successful as we think we're going to be, there's going to be no such thing as an illiquid asset. There's going to be different degrees of liquidity. And so our real mission is to create a global platform for liquidity so that any asset, any financial asset that you own, you know where to go and you can get a competitive bid for that asset.
Silbert deals with illiquid financial assets of all kinds, from bankruptcy claims to mortgages that were sliced and diced, to complicated financial products created by Wall Street.
SMO 2968, what's that looking like for today?
So far, over 13,000 financial institutions and big investors have signed up to use his service.
So this is the trading floor.
And this market in illiquidity has turned to liquid gold. SecondMarket is now managing $25 billion in illiquid assets.